answer session. We will try to answer the question. If we do on lecture, that will be different. Again, why we don't say pollination? We begin by saying, if only bees they be extinct, human beings they just get 3-4 years to stay on Earth. Because everything we consume, pollination be done by bees. Yeah. Another part, I answer the question. Yeah. So, any other questions before we move to inhabitants of the hive? I see the question is mostly comes of beekeepers. Those who have to go inside bees. Now, I get this opportunity because now we get all options we choose the kind of hive. Yes.
And then I want to ask concerning how the bees produce wax.
How if it produce wax? That question we will do and when we get to products of the hive. Here, we limit ourselves to various types of hives. And maybe in any other question for the past, which I would like to do now say, what would they on some topic? We'll ask questions today. And if you forget some questions, how to do introduction, you will see at. Because we'll still do their products of the hive. But if we take them step by step. So any other question?
Yeah, the no be actually question. You remind me say you give me some channel so that we will follow up. So that if you give me the channel, so that maybe by evening when we relax, we also go through we call.
Yeah, the YouTube channel now from Mukum Uncommon Agricultural Techniques. If you go there, you'll see plenty on beekeeping and you'll see plenty on agriculture. Which what they do is in essence, also they try to bring things where they don't be common to the awareness of farmers. For Mukum on like one word, for Mukum Uncommon Agricultural Techniques. If you that word too long, if you go for YouTube, just type how to germinate bitter kola. So far, I believe the only person who get the video on how to germinate bitter kola. So if you just type how to germinate bitter kola, they'll bring you to my channel. So if you need a link for Mukum Uncommon Agricultural Techniques. Okay, we'll move on. I believe that the people who ask questions, they don't understand everything up to now. Okay, inhabitants of the hives, of the beehive. Beekeepers, first, how many people did you stay for a beehive? When I talk of inhabitants of beehives, various types of bees go inside a beehive. Any idea?
Yes. You get the workers and the team.
Okay.
And no, let me end.
No, continue.
These are the kings who are there. Yeah.
Yes.
This how they call it, bodyguards or whatever.
Okay, let me help you. We have 3 inhabitants of the beehive. Let me see whether I just there's a drawing. I see. We have 3 inhabitants of the hive. So these are the 3 inhabitants. That's this. Not that. Why is my matter one? we have three inhabitants of the hive. We get the queen, Her Majesty the Queen. We get workers. Then we get the drone. The drone is the only male bee in the hive. This is my operation. Okay. We get workers. This one a worker. The smallest bee you see. When you see any bee you see collecting nectar or pollen outside, automatically you know that it's a worker bee. Any bee that stings you is a worker bee. I'll just take this briefly before I take it in detail, because this particular topic is very important. This one, long and majestic. What you say and so my queen is. You see the place where the feathers they reach, or if you identify them. Yes. I don't know for the beekeepers, one of the workers I have, now don't ever see queen. Never take time. But with this modern hive, it'd be very easy for you to identify queen. Because, and I just say most of them are not get this in as soon as I talk this suit. Like if we work on that, we actually see the various inhabitants of the hive. If that not be standing, we'll try the little what we try. So this like queen, this you know, if you really miss her, especially when the queen be mated. Then this one very fat and big eyes. Now drone bees. Drone bees are the only maybe where they inside hive. So we'll go to the worker bees. The worker bees and the queen, they get almost the same genetic origin. All them are female. When they start with this worker bee, they start for the first 3 days. The bees, they feed them with royal jelly. Royal jelly is a substance where nest bees them. They exude and they use as the feed bees after the egg, 3 days, when they do for the larva stage, within 3 days, they use royal jelly. They feed all of them. But now, after 3 days, for the larva stage, they continue royal jelly with the queen. So within the 16 days, the queen hatch. They pass through the pupa stage, she hatch. While the workers, they take, after that 3 days, they continue their feeding with a mixture of honey and pollen. It takes up to 21 days for worker for hatch. While the drone bee, they feed it continuously with honey and pollen. It takes it 28 days for hatch. I want to understand this topic very, 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 very well, because in the course of your beekeeping career, if you understand these points, then it will be very easy for you to manipulate your hive. So now, what will happen? When you talk of worker bees, they do all work in the hive, from cleaning, defense, feeding of the brood. When I talk of brood, you understand what is brood now? If I talk some way you don't understand, please, now call me. I don't like when people they sleep inside my class. I like people they be active. Brood, it simply means the place where the bees they grow, like a cocoon, like a small Okay, like when we see here, what did happen in essence? I say here, this one, these cells now worker cells. Now when the queen can lay inside here, the bees they draw out the thing. So when I talk of brood, I'm gonna show my example of brood. Okay, now which I mean a brood here. This one we see the big so. Now drone brood. What they call drone cells. The fats. For those of you when I don't do beekeeping, as opposed to this area here, this one are drone brood. So in essence, when the bees are inside, after 21 days of workers, they come out from that brood. These are drone broods, the male bees. When we finish there, we'll get an opportunity for show the worker brood. But I want to just remember this so that as we go forward, we no over delay on this. This na drone brood. This one are queen cells, pop. I don't know for those who don't do beekeeping before. I believe I don't come across this. This one are high. So this one are queen cells. So we'll just go ahead. As I been talk for at the level of workers. So after 21 days, when the workers they come out, they get various activities that they do according to their age group. They start first initially by feeding the brood. The brood, as I talk, now the place where they nest bees. They divert from that. The next stage is cleaning the hive and attending to the queen. When they get up from that, they do maybe finding activities in the hive, or they receive nectar from incoming bees and put it in the last the final stage where they do now garden. When you see any bee will stink you know say a worker bee don't stink you because the queen has a sting, but the queen is stinging man. The drone bees do not get sting. So if you didn't catch drone bee with your hand soap, you don't do anything. If you identify drone bee, if you know some of them don't go towards maybe swampy areas, you see some bee where they stand on one place, they make boo. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing them. Now drone bee that. You get very fat eyes. They need to find nectar, they need to do anything. They know they for feed and mate with the queen. So after guarding, the next stage is foraging. So any bee you see outside, foraging, you know say must be a worker bee. So on that level, please, any question on worker bees before we move forward. Okay. I believe say the silence means everybody understand. So the next stage, we'll go to drone bees. I don't show you drone cells. When we drone bees, as I talked earlier, and male bees, they take 28 days from eggs to when they hatch. Their only activity in the hive now for mate with the queen. And then they mate with the very queen from the very hive. They go out and mate different queens from different hives. And after they mate, when I talk of mate, I believe everybody understand.
Yeah.
After they mate, they die. So immediately the drone bee mates with any queen. It explodes. It moves nearly every sperm sac we get inside it. Every sperm you get dump inside the queen, it die. So the one and only most important Her Majesty the Queen. Now we come to this point. I do this thing a bit brief, but because of when I ask question, then I'll try for expand because some of the topics they will be too elaborate. So we come to the next this thing now, the main one, Her Majesty the Queen. I believe so. All we belong to image of a queen. So when we come to, as we talk, the queen take 16 days from egg to when it hatch. And when they hatch, it take about 3, 4, 5 days to stay in the hive. After that, when it wings are matured, it go out during mating flight. When I talk of mating flight, I mean the queen go fly out. He go meet with about 20 to 30 different drones. When he don't store enough sperms inside the sperm sac, he returns to the hive. And when he returns to the hive, at her prime, the queen will lay up to 2,000 eggs per day. And because he mates with about 20 to 30 different drones, it helps to keep the genetic diversity of the hive. What I mean by genetic diversity? It means some bees they will be prone to resemble one part their mother, the queen, and the other part their father. It means in the hive what will happen? You get some worker bees where they be good at cleaning. You get the other one they be good at foraging. You get the other one they will be good at defense. So because of this genetic diversity, and now why that you see some certain hives for those who want to attempt beekeeping. So certain hives they produce more honey than the other. I don't know whether the beekeepers know that one. Yes. Why they produce more honey than the other? It's just like different species. You get cows that they produce more milk than the other. For pig, you get pigs that they produce more offspring than the other. So now what be the beekeeper's role? The beekeeper's role now to make sure say, me you get that best genetic. If you are point out to produce honey, you identify those hives where they give you more honey. You propagate that gene in other hives. And also that one I elaborate topic too big. In case you go after this, any other advice, you might call me anytime I use my advice. So if you take that genes, propagate them in all apiary, you'll be able to produce more honey. So when the queen returns now to the hive, throughout her life, the queen will move out, except when it leads a group of bees to go swarming. I will just play this thing because it will come across, because now I'll start this thing will not upset some of the sequence that I put that picture. Now, when we talk of swarming, what do you mean? You get some tree they call them queen pheromone. Like, you know, every particular person get an odor. I believe so. You get queen pheromone. So when that queen pheromone, where the queen exudes that from the body, a bee noticed by the bees. The bees, they know so the queen they will maintain the diversity and all activity in the hive. But when that queen pheromone diminish, what will happen? It means either one thing, the hive be too crowded. Now it will trigger a swarm. When the swarm may actually be immune and say, you get a box, where not there for the business for expand, the big crowd inside the house. It's just like normal human being. When they are money and far on you, now they house crowded. Where you don't reach your age, normally you go find a house now. So now, and that's exactly what you have to be kingdom too. When they be crowded, the open, it go part of the bees, they suck enough honey, then they leave, they go find different house. So in the course of finding this house, what will happen? They find house where a bit according to size. If the swarm, they talk of prime swarm, if the prime swarm big, if you put a small box in, it will enter inside. If you get big box, it will enter. But you don't get, I don't know, from those of Gona, you don't get sometimes, you get swarm that they use small like this. So those small swarm, they like in a small cavity. Because it will be able for them to warm the area. But those heavy swarms, they normally like heavy cavity. And so when their choice of area, that normally cavity where they face out. And when bees they land from this cavity, what will happen? They will start go around. Okay, now what I mean by brood, the worker brood, now in this. Okay, so when they land for this, when they come out from the hive, the first station are for land for any tree within nearby. Now what will happen now? Say scouts they go out. When I talk of scouts, that's I don't know, bees hunting bees to go find house. So when they come to a hive, when they have bee wait where they want, they'll go back, go tell the friends and say, don't see something suitable here. Now comes the role of the beekeeper. You, the beekeeper, you're supposed to get a hive or a box or anything where it be attractive enough where the bees will like to come in. I don't know what I'm at that point. Yes. That point is very important. Now, bees they like box where the face out. So you didn't mean that situation, say me a box or a hive, the face out. In a shaded area. So they are bees they fit come. Now what I will say tomorrow or the next after will be how to make attract. And find something they put nimbo, so one they put honey, so one they put sugar. All those things they don't attract bees, they attract the ants. So we'll work on that. So when the bees finally enter, what will happen? Now in a new area. Now comes this other, this thing. In essence, the box will be first make them. That box will not stand for backside. That box get half this thing. Yes, half shutter street. What will happen now when they reach now? Because they consume a lot of honey before they come out. Now with the time that, remember because the bees they consume, they take 8 kilograms of honey to produce 1 kilo of wax. The honey where it is inside their system, they convert and now produce wax. They draw that comb. Then now they start store their honey and pollen. When they store honey and pollen now a new colony is formed. So in essence, they start all over again, poaching pollen, mostly for our own area, we don't store there and say, bees they store pollen, mostly during the rainy season. I know for beekeepers, I told now, I don't notice that one say, during rainy season. Now why don't you know you harvest on it for rainy season? Because during the rainy season, bees they store mostly pollen. Dry season, they will store you, most people go for that hive now. You look at you stand beside, you look at you say, most of the bees they come in. Then they come in with pollen. But say 99.9% they come in now with nectar, where they go change them to honey. So in essence, I believe brief expose on the inhabitants of the hive and their activities. So on that point, any question? Isa? Yeah, one minute. Where is your name now? For
what?
okay. You understand what I'm talking about?
I understand.
Okay. Okay, the seal, let's say, you know, the.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I want to ask about the queen inside the hive. I want to ask whether the queen they plenty or not just a single queen inside.
Okay, very good question. Now, what we will discuss about the queen, now just normal situation. Abnormal situation. When bees the one swarm, you see like the cells of the shown now, they get multiple cells. When bees the one swarm, what will happen? They produce those cell cups. The queen lay inside. He lay inside now, virgin queen will emerge. When the most senior queen carry part of the group, they go. Those virgin queens will emerge. What will happen? The first virgin queen will emerge. If the bees, the workers, the penalty, he will use the barb, eliminate the rest of the queens, the queen cells. He will pierce through the queen cells. For no waste time, man, just go on. If you will arrive for that, I'll show now. You go pierce to the queen cells for kill the rival queens. But most often, the bees they decide to preserve one cell or one virgin queen, so that if this other queen go, if the virgin queen go out for go mate, if anything happen, the other queen will take over because predators they fit kill like dragonfly, birds, or bat weather even. If you confuse, you no come back. So they ever left one virgin queen to take over. So in normal or abnormal situations, you need to get one queen inside. But in normal situations, you get only one queen. If you get 60,000 bees, now one queen inside. Yes. And again, a second scenario, if in the course of manipulating a hive, you pass by mistake to kill a queen. The bees, what do they do now? They go use any larva wey be below 3 days old. They go drag them, raise a queen cell. Wait, the difference between a queen and worker, wait the difference? Now low nutrition. Because the worker, after 3 days, when they start from beginning from larva, they start feeding the royal jelly. After 3 days, they start feeding honey and pollen. Till 21 days of worker. Then the queen from day 1, they start feeding only royal jelly. So what will happen in essence is say this situation, they will feed this one larva only royal jelly continuously. So after 16 days, the worker will come out as a queen. But in case the queen die, another scenario, queen die, no 3 days larva, no day. What will happen? Because the workers then, they get almost the same genetic, but they be default because of no meat. There's this thing, the abdomen will be enlarged. They will start laying eggs. But this eggs will lay, it will be fertile. And it's not be fertile, they will come out with drone heads, with drone cells, with drone eggs. Now, that colony don't be doomed. Because they don't feel reproduce. Remember, I was saying they create 2,000 eggs per day. But the workers, all their eggs they lay on, it will be in a useless drone where they don't feel forage, they don't feel do anything. Although as a beekeeper, if you remedy the situation, what if you remedy them? By providing them with a different larva. If you come like a big box, if you say you want a Ghana box, you get brood, worker brood. Inside this worker brood, you identify larva of less than 3 days old. You go introduce them to that box. Now you don't give them the opportunity for produce a queen. So the colony will go on. So with time as a beekeeper, when you go not start doing this thing, just as looking at the entrance of the hive, you will identify which will go wrong with your hive most of the time. You don't actually need all the time for entire inside the hive. I hope I answer that question. I like that question, and why that to say if they ask questions, so certain things they do if you don't pass them briefly. Then when you ask questions, you be able to elaborate. So any
Yeah, but for people who don't keep honey, sometimes person get hives there, and each time you go there, it's like time don't pass. You always go meet up at the eggs there. You feel can shoot down, you want check again after 1 month, you still go meet up the eggs there. You now start calculating now which time it dey prepare. And for how long those comb them where you dey expect them to be inside the hive for you for clear them away, for give way, or you keep them continuously.
Okay. Like we talked earlier, bees they propagate brood mostly to the season because of the advent of crops that they get more pollen than nectar. So normally when you follow this calendar, because so one thing that we will get to understand is we harvest only surplus honey. When this one are the frame for the downer brood, for the downer box, at all times, honey will be here. Because for those of you that don't tend to beekeeping, you say we go for some frame the like Kenya toba, honey up here. For that end are good. I believe I don't see that one.
Yes.
Good. But some people they will come now, destroy the one, only will move this small honey. You go make us so in most cases the bees will abscond. This honey no be a honey, na bees are honey.
Hey.
You dey only harvest honey when it be surplus. Surplus honey. And na why that like this last straw hive, when the box where they come up, the honey wey bees dey store am up. Now you harvest am. It depends on it depends on many factors. Okay, you see I ask chairman how to put that box on backside. So within a kilometer or 2 radius, whether any hive there, he say no. That hive, if you say by maybe May next year, we harvest about 10 kilos there. Because they don't get any competitions. So you know if you just be stricto sensu, say after 6 months or after 3 months, no. You get factors where they play the availability of flowering crops in that area. If you get flowering crops in that area throughout, your harvest will be quick. If you don't get flowering crops, it will be delayed. And those honey where you see where they be beside, like mostly I don't say Kenya tobacco, but they be here and they find that one. That honey where they mix with brood, not be a honey, na bees are honey. Because honey, bees they use am for energy. Now energy source one. And pollen, they use am like protein. So you must allow, if you want, this thing to stay in one place for more than 10 years, you continue harvest. If you follow the instructions. Because this box one are 12 kilos of honey, air flow, where it's be about 10 liters. So when you see honey where they mix with brood, not harvest. Now the reason why you see that this thing is true that because at all times when the bees they get their honey